Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Hope that you're doing well. It's time to talk about some upcoming fragrances, guys, and there are some big ones. A new Gucci Guilty, a new Stronger With You that, as of when I'm filming this video, hasn't even really made its way all the way across the internet yet. Couple new expensive fragrances from Parfum and Tom Ford, a new Calvin Klein, and a semi-new Gentleman only. And potentially some new Hawas. Yeah. A lot of this information I got from iFragrance Official, which is going to be linked in the description in case you want to go there and read up a little bit more on some of these releases. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it with the new Gucci Guilty Love Edition 2025. And by the way, this fragrance and also the Hawas I talk about in a This Week in Fragrance video on my extra channel. So if you want a little more info, check that one out. I did a This Week in Fragrance over there about some other fragrances I'm not talking about here today, but I know not as many people see that, so I wanted to include the Guilty here as well. So this is Gucci Guilty Love Edition 2025, a new limited edition offering from Gucci. It celebrates love in all its forms for the upcoming Valentine's Day. The signature essence of the blend was concocted with love, merging juniper oil with its leathery essence, along with the sparkling orange blossom absolute and woodsy elegance of Ambro Fix. It comes housed in an almond green bottle representing one narration of a passionate story of love, which I do actually really like the bottle. It's pretty simple. I mean, it looks like just a matte green finish, but it looks pretty nice. It looks slick. And they are hitting us with the dumbed down note breakdown, which you know that I absolutely adore. I just love it so much, guys. Is it like the TikTokification of everything where it just has to be dumbed down to the point of like, if there's more than 3 notes, you lose your attention span and you freak out and have to grab something else? Like you get 1 note, okay, I can keep my attention that long. 2 notes, losing it. 3 notes, that's it. 4 or 5 and ooh, oh my God. Swipe, swipe, swipe.
Panic mode, engage.
No, stop. So yeah, the notes, juniper, orange blossom, and amber fix. And the one thing that jumps out to me here is that it may be vaguely similar to YSL's Myself, maybe not necessarily smelling like Myself, but in that overarching style. Because when you look at that note breakdown, that's kind of what it's given me, right? Orange blossom, and then you've got some aromatics in there and a little bit of an amber woody dry down. Myself is a runaway smash success. We've seen fragrances come out this year that are a little bit similar to YSL Myself. So it would make sense if that continues on into the next year with more fragrance brands going like, hey, we don't want the exact same as YSL Myself, but it wouldn't hurt if we got something a little similar out there, wouldn't it? So there's Gucci Guilty Love Edition 2025. Let's talk next about that Rasasi. And this hasn't been announced anywhere officially that I've seen other than on Instagram. So if you go to Rasasi's official Instagram, it is at RasasiGCC, you'll see what I'm talking about. They had posted on there, something extraordinary is about to unfold, stay tuned. And then they started teasing that a couple of new fragrances were going to be coming out. And then way back on November 16th, they gave us the names, Rasasi Hawas Fire and Rasasi Hawas Pink. For Fire, they say, the spark you've been waiting for is about to ignite. Hashtag Hawas Fire. And for Pink, they say, delicate yet daring. Get ready for the unveiling of Hawas Pink. Now they don't have any notes on there, so obviously it's kind of hard to tell how they're gonna smell at this point. Fire, pink. But it does look to me that Rasasi is potentially looking at the success that some other fragrance houses from the Middle East are having, like Armaf, Latafah, etc. And maybe they're saying to themselves, maybe we should ramp up how many releases we have coming out there. Because traditionally, they don't release as much as these other brands. Fragrance World, Latafah, like I said, Armaf, these brands come out with a lot more stuff. And if they are indeed thinking about releasing more things, it makes sense to make Hawas kind of like the linchpin, the focal point, right? Because that's their most well-known line at this point. So it would also make sense for them to potentially make their Hawas line kind of like their version of the Club de Nuit line. Because when everybody thinks Armaf, they think Club de Nuit, and that's a whole big line of fragrances with all kinds of different flankers at this point. And Rasasi could do the same thing with Hawas, which kind of looks like what they're doing. Because for a long time, it was just Hawas. That's it, right? But now here lately, we've been starting to get more of them come out, and to have 2 of them announced at the same time, not that long after Hawas Black, looks like they're gonna be ramping up how many they're releasing. So those 2 also coming out very soon. Let's talk next about the Calvin Klein, then we'll do the Stronger With You. So this is Calvin Klein Eternity Amber Essence. This is gonna be another 2025 release. It's kind of like a maroon colored bottle almost, burgundy maroon. According to the brand, this is an indulgent fragrance that boasts intimacy. The new Calvin Klein Eternity Amber Essence for Men is an intoxicating blend of contradictory elements of freshness and warmth. Like 1 Million Lucky, but not. I'm just saying 1 Million Lucky also has a contradictory element of freshness and warmth. Yeah, let's just keep moving. The scent begins with refreshing notes of clean accord and Italian mandarin that paves the way for deep amber, warm bourbon vanilla, and powerful benzoin for an elevated, enveloping scent trail that leaves a lasting impression. I love that. The scent begins with refreshing notes of clean accord. It's like a robot wrote this. I don't know about you, dude, but for me, I love a refreshing note of clean accord. Beautiful. The signature sophisticated curves of the Calvin Klein Eternity for Men bottle are revamped in a deep burgundy glass accentuated with silver. So we've got a top of clean accord and Italian mandarin, a mid of amber, and a base of bourbon vanilla and benzoin. So I know for a lot of people out there, they'll look at Calvin Klein and their flankers, you know, Eternity, CK1, whatever, and they'll just kind of write it off, be like, you know, whatever, $25 fragrance. But Eternity does actually have some really solid flankers. There have been some good releases in that line in the not too distant past. And when you can pick those up at discounters for a good price not too long after they're released, it can be pretty solid. That's all I'm saying. And they are giving us a note breakdown, simple as it is, but they are giving us a note breakdown that could be pretty appealing. All I'm saying is if you give us a fragrance that has a nice mandarin pop off the top, a nice citrus there, that's also going along with modern trends, a little bit clean accord, clean laundry, whatever, ozonic. But then you give us a nice, warm, sexy dry down with good sweetness, bourbon, vanilla, amber, benzoin, like that sweet on top of sweet on top of sweet. If you pull it off and it's available for cheap, all I'm saying is it could be kind of a sleeper. I'm not expecting it to be like some massive hit or anything, but it could be one of those ones where if you know, you know. All right, it is time for the new Stronger With You. And this is from, of course, Emporio Armani. And this is kind of funny. By the way, one of you actually hit me up and made me aware of this. So a special shout out to you. You know who you are. I'm not gonna give your email address or anything, but Justin, thank you. Somebody, I feel like maybe did a little boo-boo and uploaded this a little too soon, a little too early. It is, as of this video, on Shoppers Drug Mart, which is a Canadian retailer, on their website, and they have listed the new Stronger With You Parfum for sale. It's showing sold out. So I guess not technically for sale, but they've listed it on the website where you can, you know, see that it's there and going to be available for purchase very soon. It says, we're sorry, this item is temporarily out of stock online, you don't say. But they posted it along with all the pictures, all the media photos and everything, and the write-up as well. So it's nowhere online as of this video except Shoppers Drug Mart. Like I said, I feel like somebody there behind the scenes was like, hell with it, man. Just put it up on the website, whatever. I don't know why they were Canadian and they suddenly became like a weird Southern redneck guy, but you know, whatever. It's showing listed as $145 for the 50 mil, so it would be $145 Canadian, I would imagine. It would make absolutely no sense for it to be US dollars. So $145 Canadian for the 50 mil, $185 Canadian for the 100 mil, and in comparison, Stronger With You Intensely for the 100 mil is $160. So it's gonna be a little bit pricier than Stronger With You Intensely, and also Stronger With You Absolutely. So what's the deal with this one? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the write-up here. It is a very condensed write-up, so it wouldn't surprise me if when this is announced, you know, officially announced, I should say, that it doesn't maybe get a little longer. The write-up reads as such. Emporio Armani Stronger With You Parfum captures the essence of bold masculinity. Opening with spicy pink pepper and zesty mandarin, it reveals a heart of aromatic lavender and sage. finishing with an irresistible leathery vanilla and chestnut accord. Encased in a rich amber-toned bottle, it embodies strength and sophistication. And then there's also underneath the features and benefits a very similar write-up, but never so slightly different, where it says that it has a leathery vanilla and sugared chestnut accord, which creates a warm, addictive aroma, while pink pepper and mandarin provide a vibrant spark. They do bring up twice that the vanilla is leathery, which is kind of intriguing. I've never actually tasted anything or smelled anything that was vanilla where I went like, yeah, that vanilla smells like leather, tastes like leather. I love it. So I'd say that there's obviously gonna be kind of a leather note in here, a leather accord, and they're just popping that together with the vanilla there. The sugared chestnut obviously standing out as well. And when you look across the line, there are close similarities to some of the other fragrances already in the line. The pink pepper is right in line with a lot of the other fragrances in the line because a bunch of them do have pink pepper off the top. Mandarin orange, a little bit more unique compared to the others. Lavender, sage, both of those ingredients are used with regularity across the Stronger With You lineup as well. Obviously, so is vanilla, so is chestnut. So the expectation, I guess, would be that this is going to be the richest version of that Stronger With You intensely type DNA. Stronger With You original / Stronger With You intensely. So it does fit in as being a parfum when you just look at the note breakdown, right? I wonder if that means year after we get Stronger With You elixir, because that's been a very common thing that's happened. But yeah, my expectation is it's gonna have a good amount of sweetness to it. It's going to be strong, or at least it should be. It's gonna have a bit of a leathery undertone to it as they drive home with leathery vanilla, which is probably a very good thing because the Stronger With You leather flanker, the exclusive edition, is really, really good. So if they can take aspects of that Stronger With You leather, Stronger With You intensely, put it together, give it its own unique twist with Stronger With You parfum, it could be friggin' awesome. It could be absolutely amazing. It could also be kind of redundant and boring, so hopefully it's not that. But there it is, Stronger With You Parfum coming out very soon, and easily, of the ones we're talking about here today, the one I'm anticipating the most, because I love Stronger With You, and I hope that when this comes out, it's like the new pinnacle of what the Stronger With You DNA is. Let's talk next quickly about the Gentleman fragrance, which is Gentleman Only 2024. Now, when you look at this on its face, it doesn't look like much, but it could mean something lurking underneath, which could be intriguing. So this is Gentleman Only 2024, yes, another 2024 fragrance. And when I say that, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, there have been so many fragrances this year. Either already exist and they're just going into a new presentation style and they call it the 2024 edition, or they already exist and they're changing them but leaving the name the same, changing how it smells and leaving the name the same and then calling it 2024. There's a lot of stuff with that. So Givenchy is reintroducing Gentleman Only in a different bottle. They call it a neo-aromatic woody eau de toilette with mesmerizing nuances where birch leaves combine with a sophisticated trio of woods, the irresistible scent that hypnotizes the senses. So they're saying basically it's available in a revamped packaging, no changes to how the fragrance itself smells. They have the note breakdown as being birch, mandarin, and incense off the top, cedar and cumin in the mid, patchouli and vetiver in the base. And they're essentially taking the fragrance and popping it into the new Gentleman style bottle. It's very similar to the old Gentleman Only style bottle, but still slightly different. So they're basically just updating it, making it look more modern. The note breakdown is a little bit simplified compared to the original note breakdown, but again, they're saying that there's no changes as far as the smell itself goes. So where I think this could be interesting is if they're putting Gentleman Only, they're going through the effort of keeping it out there, moving it into this new bottle style, does that mean they're going to expand on that line once again? Because essentially when they came out with the Gentleman line, the Gentleman Only line was just like, goodbye. Most everything other than the original Gentleman Only discontinued, and over time they've become more difficult to find. But if they're doing this, it makes me wonder if maybe they don't go ahead and come out with some more Gentleman Only stuff and kind of flesh that line out as well. Because otherwise it's just kind of confusing. If they have the Gentleman line and then Gentleman Only, which is in a very similar style bottle, but then they just leave it as Gentleman Only, again, as its own thing. That seems kind of odd. Obviously weirder things have happened, but yeah, we'll see. Let's talk about the new Tom Ford. I'm just gonna call it effing fabulous. You guys know what it is. Effing fabulous Parfum 2025. How much this will cost? $32,000 probably. Roughly, give or take a couple bucks. Effing fabulous Parfum. The new scent reveals the excessive usage of sensual leather, cozy balsamic notes, and intense aromatics for more texture and depth. This amber leather artwork is heightened by the power of leather. What? This amber leather artwork is heightened by the power of leather. Right? That's good. It's good that in your leather fragrance you have leather, I guess. But not just that, there's also elevated smoky tonka beans along with fir balsam absolutes to achieve the maximum intensity. A fragrance so fabulous, there's no more fitting name for it. Oh yeah. So we've got leather, balsamic notes, aromatic notes, amber, tonka, fir balsam. That note breakdown actually leaves a little bit to be desired because they're just like, I don't know, balsamic notes or something, aromatic notes, I don't know. Like, okay, that's something, I guess. Now the original came out in 2017. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, and yet it was. And that one was actually a pretty good hit. And it was really funny to see that fragrance just kind of like make its way all around the world because you started to see the bottles where, you know, the effing part of the name was like covered in a little piece of red tape. Super, super funny. Actually, I think when I was in Tokyo, they had that where it had the little name kind of like marked out. And so of course it makes sense that there would be a new flanker coming out eventually, even if it did take that long. And for people that love Tom Ford and maybe love the original, you have a new one to save up for. And last but not least, we have Raja Parfums Apex Eau Intense. So you can kind of see Apex following right alongside Elysium, which was the general consensus kind of when it came out. Not that it smelled like Elysium, but that it was gonna be kind of following a similar path, I guess. Just you could tell by the way it was marketed, by the way that the bottle looked and everything like that. So now there's Apex Eau Intense. Discover the new Apex Eau Intense from Raja Parfum, a carnal blend that unleashes the hidden deep desires lurking within. The bottle was revamped to reveal an intense silhouette of deep green hues and sleek edges that reflect the intensity of the new blend. Which I will say, Raja Parfum has a lot of very nice looking bottles, and I do dig the way this looks. I'm a sucker for a nice gradient, that's all I can say. In terms of notes, there are absolutely none on here. So, yeah. Not a lot to go off here. It does say that it will feature fresh, aromatic, and green notes. Could have never guessed that. The original Apex had kind of an old school feel to it in a way. Classically masculine kind of style of scent. I would imagine this one will be similar in a lot of ways. There we go, a bunch of new things coming out. Let me know what you're most interested in. Like I said, for me, it's easily the Stronger With You. I'm gonna be like this, waiting for it to pop up online somewhere. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.